There is a behavior so familiar that it rarely feels philosophical, yet it governs families, nations, and empires. A family quarrels internally until an outsider threatens it. Then the quarrel disappears. Villages feud until another village approaches as a rival. Then villages unite. Regions divide until a nation threatens them. Nations fracture until a foreign power looms. What was once us versus us becomes us versus them. And when the threat fades, the unity fades with it. This is not hypocrisy. It is not moral inconsistency. It is something older. It is elastic identity. Elastic identity is the tendency of human belonging to expand or contract based on circumstance. When danger is near, identity narrows. When danger is distant, identity widens. The boundary of us is not fixed. It stretches and it shrinks. We do not vote on this behavior. We feel it. Philosophy noticed this long before psychology named it. In the 14th century, Ibn Khaldun studied the rise and fall of dynasties. He noticed a repeating pattern. Small desert tribes, bound by hardship, were internally united. They conquered wealthy cities. But once they settled, once comfort replaced survival, their unity weakened. Children born into ease did not share the solidarity of their parents. He called this force asabiya, group cohesion born of shared struggle. Asabiya was strongest when life was hard, and weakest when life was easy. Empires did not fall from invasion first. They fell from internal loosening. Early Rome was poor. Its citizens farmed their own land, served in their own armies, despised luxury. When Rome faced external enemies, Romans were united. But as the empire expanded, wealth flowed in, and danger moved outward. Internal unity weakened. Roman elites stopped fighting. Mercenaries replaced citizens. Politics turned inward and bitter. The external enemy disappeared, so Rome found enemies inside itself. Elastic identity contracted. Thomas Hobbes understood this instinctively. He believed that without a common fear, humans compete endlessly. Fear, he argued, is what forces cooperation. When fear is external, society aligns. When fear vanishes, rivalry resurfaces. This explains why peace is often noisy and war is often quiet. War unifies, peace exposes difference. Elastic identity responds not to morality but to threat. Carl Schmitt stated this harshly. He said, politics begins with the distinction between friend and enemy. A group defines itself by opposition. When the enemy is external, internal divisions soften. When the enemy vanishes, difference hardens into hostility. History confirms this. Societies at peace often turn inward. The enemy is no longer outside, it is among us. Modern psychology confirms what philosophy suspected. Humans organize meaning through in-groups and out-groups. These boundaries are flexible. Two rivals ally when confronted by a third. The mind prefers clarity. Us versus them is easier than uncertainty. Elastic identity simplifies reality during stress. This behavior has ancient roots. Early humans survived in small groups. Group loyalty meant life. Those who unified under threat survived. Those who did not disappeared. Evolution trained us for temporary unity, rapid alliance, threat-based cohesion, not for permanent harmony, universal identity. Peace is unnatural to the ancient mind. Unity without danger must be taught. Chinese historians recorded this openly. Each dynasty began the same way. A leader rose from chaos, unified divided regions, restored order. External threats created unity, but generations later, peace became normal. Rulers became distant, elites fragmented. Internal rebellion replaced external danger. The mandate of heaven was not lost suddenly. It eroded as unity collapsed inward. Elastic identity contracted again. The modern world did not escape this law. It globalized it. During world wars, nations unified. Political divisions quieted. Sacrifice became honorable. When wars ended, polarization returned. During pandemics, humanity briefly spoke as one species. When danger faded, borders hardened again. Alliances form not from affection, but from shared threat. Yesterday's enemy becomes today's ally. Elastic identity stretches across continents. When no external threat exists, societies invent internal ones. Ideological enemies replace physical enemies. Political tribes harden. Language becomes weaponized. This is elastic identity contracting in a safe environment. Difference becomes danger. The mechanism remains unchanged. Only the target shifts. But there is a danger here. When unity depends on fear, society becomes addicted to threat. Fear unites quickly, but corrodes slowly. It silences nuance. It punishes dissent. It suspends reflection. Plato warned against this. He argued that unity built on fear cannot survive peace. Only unity grounded in shared virtue can endure without enemies. Philosophy offers no easy escape. Elastic identity is not a flaw. It is a condition. The question is not whether identity will stretch or shrink. It will. The question is whether societies can build a stable center, values strong enough to survive without fear. This requires memory, education, restraint. It is rare. But history shows it is possible. Briefly, identity expands under threat. It contracts in safety. This is neither good nor evil. It is human. Civilizations rise when they manage this tension. They fall when they forget it. The most dangerous moment for any society is not when it is attacked, but when it is safe and no longer remembers what once held it together.